I think that Israel is justified in attacking Iran. I don't think that we are. Like, whenever I see Israel attacking them, it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, you guys have had trouble with them forever. But, like, I don't want us to be involved. Over 500,000 votes. Should the U.S. get involved with the war against Iran? 89% clicked no. So, there's a huge amount of people that are like, and this is like, I think this is the way a lot of people feel, right? You voted yes, I just click one. Like, I don't really, I think it depends. That's honestly my opinion, right? I mean, it depends. But, like, in general, I think no. And also, the U.S. already is involved, so, like, I think that if Israel breaks the ceasefire again, we should completely disconnect from Israel. We should totally stop dealing with them. We should stop trying to, like, you know, negotiate on their behalf. We should stop funding them. Should stop doing all of this. I think it's just, it's massively toxic for America. If Israel breaks the ceasefire or something like this happens again, we're going to have to pay for it all over again. And hopefully that's going to put them in a position where they would be less willing to do that because they're losing support with the American people. I mean, it's very obvious that, like, you know, Israel's support is going into the shitter. I thought you were anti-regime. I thought you were anti-regime change, or is it case-by-case basis? Well, actually, you didn't think that. You just made that up. So what I actually said is that it is a case-by-case basis. I generally think that it's a bad idea, but I was open to the idea of doing it in Venezuela, but not in Iran. I don't want to see it happen in Iran. I think that the Iranian people can do it. So you're showing that you're no better than the average brain-fucked U.S. American, arrogant superiority complex? It's not a superiority complex, it's a superiority reality. We just showed that last night. And we'll do it again with Iran. And now you have empathy? It's not empathy. See, like, this is the thing, is that it's pure logic. So all I do is I do a calculation. Okay, so Iranians are being killed en masse. Whenever they're being killed en masse, it's going to make a lot of them either be very afraid, or it's going to make it feel like, okay, well, the Iranians are, you know, like, also the military could just overpower them, right? And so an Iranian revolution is in the best interests of America. It's in the best interest, honestly, of pretty much everybody that's on our side. And so we want the Iranian revolution to happen. So while it's something that we want to let happen on its own, if there's a situation that would be so extreme and so bad that it would totally prevent it from happening, then it's worth it for us to make the revolution happen anyway. Israeli news are reporting that there's positive movements constricting the framework for negotiation. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, as I said, I hope they don't negotiate. That's really about all I'm trying to say. I generally support things that he does, but this I don't support at all. Does that make sense? So, like, for example, the way that he, you know, like, bombed Iran. If Iranians want to overthrow the regime, that's on them. There's no way, right? Did he say that? Yeah, is this even true? He did say it February 11th. I'm gonna be honest, like, if they don't get rid of the Iranian regime, like, I don't want to go off topic here too much because we're still talking about this, but if they don't do that, like, I'm really, like, that's gonna be something that I think that it's unforgivable. It really is. And reports the U.S. supposed to attack Iran soon? Yeah, I've heard that for, like, the last 3 days, man. Like, it's not like I'm not ready. I hope that we do attack Iran, honestly.
The year is 2025, and the 12-day war is happening. The official narrative is that Israel and Iran can fight each other, and that it is justified for Israel to go to war against Iran because Iran and Israel are enemies and Iran threatens the security of Israel. The official narrative also says that the US should not involve itself in this war. The grifters, these sophists, these online personalities like Asmongold and many others were given talking points, and these talking points said that they should justify Israel attacking Iran, but at that time was not in the best interest of the oligarchy to support the US going into war with Iran. At the time, Asmongold kept the narrative that he supports Israel defending itself, but he doesn't support the US involving itself helping Israel to fight Iran. You see, these people are paid to bit by bit change your mind. These people are paid to get inside of your mind and change what you think. The people, this oligarchy that is in control of the rest of us, they know how to manipulate you. They know that whenever they want an outcome to happen, they can't push it really hard. They know they need to do it gradually. And they use people like Asmongold to push these agendas bit by bit, one step at a time. At the moment, it was convenient to say that the US going into war with Iran was not a great idea, but comes 2026 and Asmongold uses the old switcheroo. He changes his tone and now he outright says that the US should involve itself in a war with Iran. Many times even sounds disappointed because Trump or his government won't attack Iran. Here is another clip of him once again flip-flopping, activating his grifting mode, turning the switch position, and now he says this.
Let me see. Wait, what was this here? Lindsey Graham says the wars of the future are being planned in Israel. I knew that. I think we all knew this. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Like, exactly. Okay, all right, you get it. Yeah, there you go.
You see what I am saying? Asmongold is not a reliable person. He's not. You shouldn't trust people like him. People that constantly change the script. People that keep doing the switcheroo. People that flip-flop. Or people that are unable to give you straight answers. It is funny because he doesn't like when people do that. But he does that all the time. When people are unable to give you a straight answer, it is probably because they are trying to manipulate you. Or because they are trying to manipulate the circumstances at that time. That is how Asmongold manipulates his audience. Now, you don't believe me? Here's more clips of him now where he supposedly is anti-woke, and with woke I mean cultural Marxism. But then I am going to show you also some clips where he supports or defends cultural Marxism.
Well, what I'm saying is that there is a tremendous amount of deliberate overrepresentation of like trans, LGBT in general, gay stuff, like minority groups. I would say even minorities themselves. It is a massive overrepresentation, and you can see it from the why would people think this? Well, these are all the things that are represented in media and movies a lot. I don't know about minority groups. I would say that definitely like black and like Arab people, like a Muslim, that's not really an ethnic group. It's like kind of like both, but I'd say they're massively overrepresented. And I would say so for sure. Absolutely. Like every movie trailer has it. Everything like that has it. Yeah, absolutely. It's not even a question. And so anyway, almost every new Disney movie, cartoon has gay parents, gay main character, trans main character. My wife went through a ton of the shows herself for our kids to watch. They're legit trying to brainwash our kids into the shit whenever they're young. Well, that's because the people that are writing it are trying to do that. They want... I actually do believe this, is that a lot of people that have like non-normal sexual proclivities, there is a subset of all of these groups that want to indoctrinate kids into it because it gives them a sense of validation whenever they see that there's like a new generation of people that are going to think and act and feel like they do. And so, yeah, it's social engineering. Exactly. It's social engineering. The fixation around this, again, it's what I've said before, liberal white women that want to push their identity politics into every form of fiction possible and ruin it. That's what they're doing. That's what they did with World of Warcraft. And here's a video of them explaining that exact thing. And that's why I don't play the game anymore. It's one of the big reasons. It's been taken over by weirdos. Yeah, that's why I'm playing Classic. Even Classic, bro. Like, they even changed Classic male and female to body type 1 and 2. Bro, I'm just done. I'm gonna be honest. Like, anytime that I see... Like, there's a lot of things in video games that, like, if I see them... I automatically assume the game is garbage. Like if I see a game with body type 1 or 2, I mean, to be fair, that's mostly publishers that do that, like with Elden Ring, for example. But like if I see that, nobody wants to see body type 1 and 2. Nobody wants to see. That's weird. Like there's no body type 1 and 2. It's just male and female. So why would you ever add that in? Why would you ever put that in the game? It's to appease weirdos. And in my opinion is that if you do that on a small level, that is a mining canary for it to be on a bigger level as well. Every time a woke game sells well, it's suddenly not woke. The only people that thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was woke were idiots. Like, let's be honest. Baldur's Gate 3 is considered woke, even if it didn't take away the boobs from the armor. Baldur's Gate 3 is not considered woke by anybody. Nobody except for the biggest retards on the internet think Baldur's Gate 3 is woke. The 1 and 2 thing, yeah, sure, and that's silly, but that's like 1 point. Truth is that if you make a good game, it doesn't really matter if the game is woke or not, people are gonna play it. Like, you have something like Baldur's Gate 3 that has a lot of, like, you know, you could say modern audience themes, like, you know, gay stuff and other types of, like, you know, sexual deviancies. Baldur's Gate 3 is not considered woke by anybody. Nobody except for the biggest retards on the internet think Baldur's Gate 3 is woke. Woke will never make a bad game good, and non-woke will never make a good game bad. That will never happen. But it can make a good game better. Like, woke content can't make a good game bad, and it can't make a bad game good. But it can make a good game better. I don't know, like, there's a company that's able to approach something that could have, like, a modern politics slant to it with a way that's, like, tactful and not patronizing. I think the Yusuke game would be cool. What? What the fuck? You know, Ghosts of Yotai, like, I mean, she wasn't really sexualized at all, and people like that game. And they definitely downsized her. I mean, I don't know. I think that, I mean, it's larger than average. That's fine to me, right? But anyway, yeah, I think that's a good thing. It clearly is. I'm glad to see it.
How can you trust someone like him? How and why? It's because he puts his audience under spell. He's manipulating you. These people are paid to do that. This guy works for Night Media, just like Hassan. And you are going to say, oh, but their politics are different. Of course, because these people, the ones behind Asmongold and Hassan, this oligarchy, wants you to fight each other. They want to push both sides, or all sides, because it's convenient for them that you, the NPCs, the cattle, fight each other and don't see the real enemies, the real people behind the curtain that are manipulating you and are pulling the strings of these puppets like Asmongold or Hassan. This is the reality, this is it, and this is just one example. I have many clips of Asmongold flip-flopping, doing 180s constantly. I have plenty of examples, plenty of clips of him, and I am going to keep showing you why you shouldn't trust this guy, just like them, one step at a time. And this is the time to see that Asmongold previously said that he was in opposition to a war with Iran, but now he no longer thinks that. Now he supports and wants the US involved in a war with Iran, and you are going to support it too, because that's his job. His job is to convince you to accept the script. His job is to convince you and to make you subservient and to acquiesce to what these tyrants want to do with you and the rest of the world. If you think this is going to stop with Iran, you are too dumb. Asmongold is a puppet of this oligarchy. He supports Internet ID. He loves Peter Thiel and Palantir. Let me show you.
That social media does need, and I think the internet will need, to have a form of identity control. I think AI and the rise of technology right now is going to necessitate real ID on the internet. And even if you don't think that it should be, it will be. Why the need for ID? Because it makes it easier to do, and it makes people know that they're being held accountable as they're doing it. Because when people know that they're being watched, or they know that there's accountability, they're less likely to commit a crime and cause problems. You can't possibly be for this? Come on. I think this is the reason why. I think it's inevitable. With the rise of online crime, the accessibility of AI to do things like impersonation and fraud so easily, the increase in crypto scams, the amount of people that are on the internet now that, you know, are existing inside of different jurisdictions and stuff like this, there is no other way for them to address that than to have some degree of accountability. Asmon thinks the internet should include IDs. Well, now he's defending it. Well, yes, I am. I think the government needs to be able to find out who is behind certain internet accounts. And so, yeah, you need to have some level of accountability for this. Absolutely. You can't have a social media website, and you can't have all these people on it, and you can't have it have this big of an impact in the real world without having consequences. Well, I think that there's going to be a need for some level of real ID. I think this is inevitable because the government is going to mandate it because the internet is too consequential now to not have any degree of accountability to it. So the internet has become a massively powerful, incredibly influential space in people's lives. With that comes a degree of accountability that people need to have on the internet. You can't have something like that and have it be completely unregulated and have it have no accountability. Even if America doesn't do it, there's going to be enough countries in the world that do that it will become a norm. Let me ask you something, Austin. Do you think that I am wrong in my assessment that real ID will be the future? Do you think I'm wrong or not? There is a legitimate, real problem that we have on the internet right now with a lot of crime on the internet being harder to enforce and laws being harder to enforce on the internet. There is going to be a solution to that problem. That solution is being defined right now. There is no outcome where no solution is defined. There will be a solution. Well, it is happening, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So the best thing that you can do is you can look at how to make this problem as efficient and as effective as possible. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. So this is the issue. Like, who's paying me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you go back 5 years, I've been saying this. I've been saying this forever. It's obvious this is what's going to happen.
Personality. We all sound the same, actually. Research does show that everybody's kind of just sounding the same now because they're all regurgitating what ChatGPT has told them. Where is individuality? Where is ownership of our work? Where is creativity? When we question nothing and outsource all of our critical thinking skills to an AI, it creates the perfect conditions for tech billionaires like Peter Thiel to control us.
That's right.
Which is already happening. But that's a topic.
Right. I love him. I think he's great.
For another video.
He's so
great.
Hey,
how are you?
If after this you're still in support of Asmongold and you think that I am lying or that I am making stuff up, you are beyond help. You're a fanatic. And fanaticism is a mental disorder. Fanaticism prevents you from using your brain, from using logic and reason. It clouds your mind. You're under his spell. And there are many influencers, he's not the only one, that are used to put people under a spell. But go ahead, keep believing these grifters. Keep thinking that they are on your side. They are not. They are part of the enemy. And if you follow them, they are going to lead you to your ultimate demise.